Hey guys, welcome back to the Sonic Retrospective, and today we're going to be talking about Sonic Shuffle and Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Now most of you are probably saying at this point, wait a second, why is Sonic Shuffle and Sonic Boom paired together? Like, usually when games are paired together, it's usually like in the same genre or like a same category. Like the obscure Game Gear games, like Tails Adventure, Tails Sky Patrol, and Sonic Labyrinth are pretty obscure spin-off Game Gear games. And also the Sonic Racing games, it's like it was all racing, like Sonic R, Sonic Riders, Sonic Drift, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, you know, even though Sonic, those are, whatever. But you know what I'm saying, like, so you're probably wondering, like, why are these two grouped together? Well, I was looking through, like, my list of games that I had to talk about, and I noticed, fuck, I forgot about Sonic Shuffle. So, I just kind of, like, haphazardly put it on to Sonic Boom, but I think it works out because Sonic Shuffle and Sonic Boom are both one of the, like, two of the worst games, other than, like the trifecta of bad games, when it comes to Sonic. Like, the three worst games in the series, to me at least, are probably Sonic Shuffle, Sonic 06, and Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. So I guess it's kinda good. I don't know. I'm just making excuses. But, Sonic Shuffle. Basically, Sonic's try at Mario Party. And holy fuck, is it terrible. Now, I'm gonna clarify. It's, as a party game, it's okay. I mean, I can play Sonic Shuffle with friends, and, I mean, I have, you know, we have the thing from Horror Month 3, where me, Pabs, Phil, and Pete all played Sonic Shuffle. You know, Pabs and Phil were on the team. But, you know, I could play this with friends and probably have a good time, actually. I mean, I don't like the way that the mini-games are handled, like how you have to land on a specific space. Because, like, you know, I like mini-games every so often, and it kind of, like, distracts away from the board game aesthetic, which I feel like that if you stick on for too long, it gets really fucking boring, you know? So, you know, that's a thing that I didn't like. And also the mini events, I like them in the way that it's like, alright, Sega did something original with this party game. But I hate them in the way that it's just like, it's chance whether or not you're like gonna get a gem, lose rings, get rings, lose a turn, you know, it's like, and I feel like 90% of the time it's against your favor. And even like, because it gives you a choice. Like, it's usually like, go left, or go right, or go straight. But I feel like every time I get, like, these events, like, the outcomes are different. So it's like, does it really matter which one you choose? The game's just gonna give you what it feels like anyway, you know? Like, that's like if I put, alright, you have door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Behind door number 1 and 3 are goats, and behind 2 is a car. And then, like, you know, I'm like, alright, so you can choose it twice. And after each time, I'll open each door so you know what's behind it after the first time. So, you choose the first time, you choose the left door, and you get the sheep or the goat or whatever the fuck I said before. And then they open all the doors and show that the car was in the middle. And you're like, okay, so I have reason to believe that the next time I do this event, they'll all be in the same place. So I'll pick the middle one so that I can get the car. So they close the doors again, and then I pick the middle one thinking I'm going to get a car, and then I open it and it's a sheep, and then the left one is the car. So it's kind of like, does it matter which one I pick? Either way, I'm going to get a random result. So, and most of the time it's not in my favor. So it just kind of feels useless to have a choice if it's just going to give you a random event anyway, you know? And also, the one thing I hate about this game, and why I still haven't beaten it to this day, alright, let me say, when it comes to games like Sonic and the Black Knight, which I have since beaten, like I said yesterday, and Sonic Chronicles, I say I didn't beat those games mostly because I never really actually sat down and tried to beat this game. You know, I never really had the drive to even try like that hard. Sonic Shuffle, time and time again, I have tried to the nth degree to beat this game, and fucking 17 years later, not 17, I don't know when the game came out, like 16 or 17 years, just be safe, I'll say 15 years later, I still can't beat it. And the only reason why is, and I don't know if this is for anybody else, but even when I put the computers on easy, they fucking cheat. They cheat to the nth degree. I mean, like when you have all the cards, like the way the game works, if you haven't played it, is that you get a hand of cards. And those cards basically tell you how many spaces you can move. And you, to get like the quote-unquote stars of this game, which are called precious stones, you have, not unlike Mario Party, like in Mario Party you can move past the star and you can still get it if you have enough coins. In this game you have to land on the space exactly, or else you won't get the chance. Now here's the problem with that. That means you have to have specific cards in that certain situation so that you can plan on landing on that space exactly. But when you run out of your cards, you can steal cards from your opponents. But the catch is, you don't know what cards they have. To you, they're face down. But it seems like, at least to me, that whenever the computer character runs out of their own cards, they know what cards you have. On several occasions, I have been near a precious stone, and a computer character has been near a precious stone. The computer character doesn't have any cards left. I have about 3 cards, or like the other computers have cards, but they're nowhere near the precious stone. And then the computer, like say like the computer's like 2 spaces away, and I'm like 4 spaces away. The computer character will 9 times out of 10, out of the cards that they're not supposed to know what they are, pick a 2. And then they get the precious stone. And that's another thing. Very rarely, because the way that getting precious stones work is it doesn't stop at just getting to it. You also have to have a high level card, like a high number card, to stand a chance against the boss of that precious stone. Like say if the boss has like a 2, you have to get a 2 or more to be able to obtain that precious stone. And the more that you fail, the easier it is for other players to get it, which is fine, except for the fact that whenever a computer fights a precious stone, not only does it pick the exact card that guy has, which lessens the chance of their victory. Like if you pick a 3 and they have a 3, it's going to cycle through 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which means that you have a 2 out of 3 chance of losing. But every time that they do this, they get a 3. They get, not only do they win, they get the perfect number to beat the precious stone boss. And these are all like most of the time. And I know that there are difficulties for these computer characters, but I always put them on easy, and they still do this. They still know the exact card to pick to get to the precious stone, and they always know the exact card to pick when fighting the precious stone boss, and they always land on the exact right number to defeat the boss in one hit if possible. So it really just makes it seem like the computer is cheating. Like not even just like good at the game, but cheating. Like the game deliberately makes it so that the computer always wins. And I know that you're not supposed to let them get to the precious stone before you, because then, you know, you're basically giving them the chance. So you have to expect that they're going to get it. But here's the thing, if you're going to play with human players, they're not going to be as good at the roulette. They're not going to be that good at the roulette. And when picking your cards, they're not going to know exactly what you have. So they should have made it so that the computer can and will fail at least like half the time, you know? Like it feels like more times than not that they get it perfect than not. So there's my little rant about Sonic Shuffle, and goddamn, I've already been talking about it for 9 minutes. This is going to be a long vlog, because I still have to talk about Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, and hoo boy, do I have a rant for you. Okay, So Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric was a way for Sega to promote their new television series, Sonic Boom, from Cartoon Network, which, by the way, is an amazing show. I can't sing its praises enough. Yeah, it's a little childish, and some of the humor is like what you would consider childish, but I feel like since there's such talented voice actors behind these characters this time, and not like just the 4Kids voice actors, which always had awkward delivery, they really nail the jokes because of the delivery. Like, one of the jokes in the show that I always quote, and I love it so much, is when Sonic was challenged by this circus master, or ringleader, or whatever you want to call him, to be part of their circus. It's like, oh, I guess you're not man enough to be part of the circus. And Sonic goes, it's like, oh, if there's one thing, I'm man, or my name isn't Sonic, or it's like, my middle name is Sally, or something like that. And he's like, and then Knuckles turns to him and goes like, I thought your middle name was The. That made, like, such a stupid joke made me laugh for like 20 minutes just because of like just the sheer delivery and unexpectedness of the joke. So now to the game, which, goddamn, why didn't they take the same writers as the show to do the game? Because the game is like, the game's idea of comedy is stupid. I think the funniest joke in that whole game is in the beginning cutscene when they're chasing Eggman and Metal Sonic. And he's like, all right, Knuckles and Amy, you go left. And he's like, hold on. He has to check his hands. Left and... Got it. All right. That's like the funniest joke, like, in the game. Also, so Sonic Boom, like Sonic 06, was meant to be a reboot of the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Again, in the worst possible fucking timing that you can do a reboot, especially of this caliber, where, unlike Sonic 06, it's like, it seemed like they still had the canon of the previous games. Like, you know, Shadow was the ultimate life form, Sonic was Sonic, and Silver was who fuck cares, and Eggman was the villain that Sonic has always chased. You know, like, it seemed like there was a bit more continuity. They still had the Chaos Control and the Chaos Emeralds and everything, but Sonic Boom was the kind of reboot that really, like, it wanted to reset everything in the continuity. For one thing, all the characters that Sega introduced are mostly absent. The only, like, main characters you get in this game are Sonic, Tails, Knuckles and Amy, Eggman, Shadow for some reason, and Metal Sonic, which looks the exact same, which is very jarring to me. Like, it seems like they're like, I don't know how to remodel Metal Sonic, so exact same against all the more cartoony-looking characters. But the one complaint that I have of this game is that, like, with Sonic 06, I was angry that Sega rushed it to put it out. You know, I was angry. But Sonic Boom, when I heard that they rushed this one out too, I wasn't angry. I was disappointed, because I was literally like, Sega, you saw what happened the last time you did this. Why, in God's name, would you do it again? And I know that there was a lot of development issues and all that, like, how, like, apparently this game was supposed to be released for the PlayStation 3, I think, and Xbox 360. If not, then the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Like, it was developed with that in mind. But then they were told, no, this is for Wii U, not for the PlayStation or the Xbox. No, you still have the Nintendo exclusivity deal. And they're like, alright, now we have to find a way to make this for Wii U. And then they did, and there was all these graphical problems and glitches and what have you. But to me, that's not an excuse. If anything, if they developed it for the wrong system and then had to find a way to make it only for Wii U, and then they saw that there was graphical problems and glitches and all this nonsense, they should have delayed the game. I know that it was supposed to come out, like, with the cartoon, with the toys, with the 3DS game Shattered Crystal. But honestly, if there was that many technical difficulties that are in the final fucking game, they should have delayed it. Like, there was no excuse for all of this to happen. Like, you could be like, oh, we had troubles, but it's like, yes, but you could have took the time to fix the problems, like the graphical problems, the glitch problems, and the multiplayer problems. Oh my god. It like, I've never seen a game look so bad on an HD system. I really haven't. Like, even when I play old games on, like if I play a Wii game on the Wii U right now, I think it looks better than when it does when I play it on my Wii. Like, it kind of ups the quality a little bit because it's a stronger system. But Sonic Boom, a game that was designed, well, not really designed for the Wii U, but a game that is on Wii U, hell, that was even designed to be a PlayStation Xbox game, which PlayStation and Xbox are really good when it comes to their graphics, made a PlayStation 2 kind of looking game. Like, I kept playing this game, and I'm like, is this really an HD title? This seems like the kind of thing that you'd see in, like, PlayStation 2 in fucking early 2000s, you know? Like, it's just kind of pathetic. The gameplay is really boring. Like, the way I described it before, and this was when I still kind of hated Sonic Unleashed, was they took the worst part of Sonic Unleashed and made a whole game on, like, a whole game over it. And I still agree with that, but now to a lesser extent, because yes, it was the worst part of Sonic Unleashed, and then they made a whole game around it. But they took the worst part of Sonic Unleashed, made a game around it, and then made that worst part even worse. Because Sonic Unleashed at least has all these combos and special moves that you can play with that aren't completely necessary, but hey, you have them at your disposal if you really want to use them. And some of them are really useful, like when you beat the hands over and over again, or the cartwheel is a really powerful move. You don't have that in Sonic Boom. In Sonic Boom, all you have are these basic attacks that you just do over and over and over and over and over. Like, they tried to make this a beat-em-up game, but it's like, Sonic is a game that's not, like, if there's anything that's the opposite of a Sonic game, it's a beat-em-up, because beat-em-ups are slow games. You have to fight the enemies, you have to stop in your tracks, fight the enemies, and then you're allowed to move on. Sonic, as a platformer, like for the adventure games or any games that modeled itself after the adventure series, like Sonic Heroes, Shadows, Sonic 06, all those, and even like the day stages of Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, all that, they got the enemies right, because you don't have to stop and kill them. Usually if you kill an enemy in a Sonic game, you're still moving forward. You're not stopping in your tracks, punching them, and then moving on, like in Sonic Boom and the night stages of Sonic Unleashed. Like, Sega really fucked up. And I know Sonic Team didn't make this game. It was Big Red Button that kind of fucked it up. But Sega really has to take care of their product. Hell, it's because of this game that Sega almost, died. Like, that's a big deal. And thankfully, it's kind of seeing from what how Sega's been treating Sonic lately. They kind of given him a break since Sonic Boom. They really haven't said anything about it until a few days ago at Comic-Con. At least they gave him a break and gave no word of any new Sonic games other than Sonic Boom Fire and Ice, which no one really cares about. And even then, apparently, it's better than Shattered Crystal, Also, one more thing I want to talk about is the kind of paradox plot hole that this game creates. So, I'm sorry that this is going on so long, but I really need to talk about this. So, the story of this game is completely flawed, and that's no surprise. But here's the major plot hole to me. So, you begin the game, you go into Lyric's tomb, and then Lyric's you! And traps them and does all this shit. And Sonic and Tails have no idea what they're talking about. Hell, Sonic and Tails are even on the inscriptions on the door. because apparently someone like Sonic and Tails 1,000 years before messed up Lyric's plans then and sealed him up. And then Sonic did this and this and this and this. So you later in the game, like a little bit later, you end up going 1,000 years in the past, stopping Lyric and trapping him in the past. Like how this game set up Lyric's backstory with the door inscriptures. So you find out it was actually Sonic and Tails, the real them, that sealed him up. Here's the problem with that. What would have happened if Sonic and Tails, like, let's say Sonic and Tails released Lyric in the tomb accidentally after being chased by Metal Sonic and the horde of Eggman robots. If they released Lyric and he went off to do his thing, what would have happened if Sonic and Tails didn't do anything? Like, if Team Sonic, if you really want to call them that, literally just went like, and just went home, problem solved! Because then Sonic and Tails would have never went 1,000 years in the past, never would have set up Lyric's plan, and then nothing would have happened. Literally, none of it would have happened. None of it. Because, obviously, and also the thing I don't understand is, how is Lyric already sealed up there? By that logic, that means that, I mean, time travel stories are always confusing. But, like, Sonic and Tails had no intent on going to the past at that point in time. So shouldn't the more likely thing be that Lyric would have, like, let's say Lyric's plans would have, like, went on. Like, if Sonic and Tails didn't do anything. Let's just humor the game and say that. Wouldn't Lyric have already won? Wouldn't it be more of a likely story if it was, like, Lyric won, Sonic and Tails go to the past and stop him and then seal him up. And then that's where Sonic Boom starts. Like, the way that the plot that they made is very confusing. And if there's one thing Sonic isn't good at, it's time travel stories. That is something that Sonic 06 has taught us, is that time travel stories are not their forte. The only time they did it right was Sonic CD, and that's because time travel was not really talked about in that game because it was a 2D Sonic game with no dialogue and no nothing. You know, like, Sega, get your act together. That's all I gotta say. And also, one thing before I end this episode at like the fucking 25-minute mark. Shadow has no purpose in this game. No purpose. He shows up in the beginning just to look at Sonic walk into a door, and he's just like, and for some reason he looks eerily more like a Sonic recolor in that one cutscene than in any other cutscene in this game. But then he shows up before Sonic and Tails go into the portal to go 1,000 years in the past, and then he's like, I'm gonna stop you because you're weak. I'm not gonna let you save the world because you're weak, and you're weak because you have friends. And then you fight him for no reason, and then you beat him, and you go into the past anyway. So he was just a meaningless obstacle that really had no business in being there. And then he's literally absent for the rest of the game. The rest of the game. And he doesn't come back until the very end just to look Sonic in the eyes and go, good job, basically. Like, what was Shadow's purpose in this story? It seems like with him being like, you're weak and because you have friends, you know? And then like at the end him being like, good job. It kind of seems like they're trying to make it that Sonic looks up to Shadow. But that doesn't make sense because they never established that. They never established that Shadow is like a commanding officer or even his friend, you know? Like, Shadow has no character in this game other than to be like, you're weak because you have friends. Good job. You know, that's his entire role in this game. Alright, so I'm done rambling about these two fucking shitty games. So, I hope you enjoyed me talking about Sonic Shuffle and Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. So, I will see you tomorrow with my thoughts and kind of reactions, I guess. I mean, not like live reactions, but just like my thoughts and how I felt when I looked at the new Sonic trailers, Sonic Mania and Sonic Project 17. See you there.